My name is Linda, and I'm a spiritual being.
Hi, Linda.
Thank you. I met Liz. We met every Sunday at 11 o'clock at Starbucks to study the Tao Te Ching. I met her at a prayer study group. Neither one of us really got much out of it. And I had spent a year in Hungary, and I talked a little bit about that reverse culture shock when you come back to the United States and you think, oh, I grew up here. How could it be shocking? But it is shocking. And then she said, well, I just lived 30 years in Japan. I said, I bet you got some culture shock. We started talking. She told me about going out to a restaurant here, and she said she asked for a side of broccoli. And they brought her this huge plate filled with broccoli. She said, do they really expect me to eat the whole thing? I said, no, it's just an American thing. Get used to it. Lots of food there. We started studying the Tao Te Ching using Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And it's a really thick, big book. And the first thing I learned from Liz was I gave her a copy, and she ripped it in half. And then she'd take both sides, and she said, oh, it's just easier to use this way. I thought, oh, okay. So we turned it into 2 books. There are 81 verses in the Tao Te Ching. The way we studied it is there's the verse, then there's an essay. We would talk about it, and we would decide what saying or mantra we could either take or import or create, and we'd use it for a week, and we'd talk about it the next week. So she brought up people like, and you will know these names, she talked about Papaji and Rumi and Hafiz. She talked about Nisargadatta and Muji and Buddha, and Byron Katie and Eckhart Tolle and Dr. Whale. I talked about Jimmy Buffett, Mark Twain, Mary Kay. When we talk about, sometimes I call it running around inside my own head. You ever do that? All these thoughts. So she shared a Japanese saying from Suzuki, Shun Ryu Suzuki. He says, open your front door, open your back door, and let the thoughts flow in and out. Just don't serve them tea. Here are some of the ones, there are 81 verses, so we did several of them more than once. Here are some of them from our sacred study time. Let the world unfold without trying to figure it out. If one of these fits with you, take it today. The how belongs to the Tao. And the Tao, by the way, is the universe, God, infinite intelligence, energy, higher power, love. All of those things encompass the Tao. Feel gratitude for what is. She was fond of saying what is, and lives. Be aware of the shortage of anything and use it as a signal to practice thinking from the vantage point of the infinite observer. Live in beingness. Respect your visions. Simply be here to serve. When you're coming from love, you can't get it wrong. She would say, trust the simple, shed my ego, and return to spirit. Be aware of the invitations to flow with the Tao. One of the things Wayne Dyer talks about, uses the analogy of an orange. He says if you take an orange and you squeeze it, what comes out? Orange juice. If I step on it, what comes out? Orange juice. If I give it to you and you squeeze it, what comes out? Orange juice. Because it's an orange. The only thing that can come out of it is orange. So if the only thing inside of me is love, then when I'm squeezed, the only thing that should or could come out of me is love. And I'm also a human being, it's not always true. But she gave me a tool one day. She walked in, she gave me a bag of cuties, little oranges, right? She said, well, here you go. She knew I was meeting someone who tends to be negative and have a hard time judging. I want to just let them be and stay out of it. So she gave me a bag of cuties and she said, here, when your friends start saying something negative, you whip out an orange and you offer it. Would you like an orange? Would you like an orange? So it was a really cool tool for me. The whole and to get rid of that running around inside your head. I have a couple things for you. Did you know Liz's lucky number was 5? So when you walk out and see the number 5 somewhere, just think about that. That's her lucky number. Every time she saw it, that's my lucky number. She had a God box for doubts and fears that you couldn't handle, and give it to God, or the Tao, or higher power, or universe, whatever you're going to call it. And sacred study is not all serious and so forth. She came to a humor presentation with me for Toastmasters, where she was invaluable, seating people and telling jokes as we go. This woman is funny. We went boxing together. Well, we didn't really box. We went to the El Dorado and saw you and our kids boxing. Yeah, that's good. I would say to her in one of our studies, hello, my name is Linda, and I'm a spiritual being. Then a week later, she would put her hand out, because that's how I did it. She'd go, and who are you? And I said, I'm Linda. Oh, I'm Linda, and I'm a spiritual being. So she kept reminding me of things like that. One day she said, or one day one of them was, joy and peace are my perfume. Joy and peace are my perfume. So when we met the next Sunday and she hugged me, she said, that's what I smell. And she caught me, right? I don't know what. She goes, is that joy or peace? I mean, how about those singers? So it doesn't have to be a downer. It can be joyful. And the transition of Liz into pure positive energy, while it hurts me on this earthly realm, it does not hurt me in here. Let's see. Oh, verse 64. I just have one left. Thank you. I just have one left. This was a really strong mantra for us together, and we used it more than one time. Our mantra together was, do just one thing and make it fun.